Jamboard is a collaborative space that you can use with others to be able to create notes, have messages or images, or collect feedback. Let me show you where it's located. So you go up to your waffle, and Jamboard is added by your organization up into where all the Google Apps generally are, up here on the right. And here you'll see Jamboard. Jamboard has the J that's shaped like a yellow ball with an orange staff, and you go ahead and click on that. And when you go into Jamboard, if you've used Jamboard before, you will see recent jams here, different types of jams, basically all different ones that have been created. What you'll see here is different jams that have been created before. Let me show you a couple examples. So I'm going to click on Virtual Visions here. And this was a collaborative Jamboard used to collect feedback on computer science. So what was done here was a logo was added for the group. There was a note around what color sticky note to use for the prompt. Different collaborators went in and created a sticky note over here by clicking, selected the blue color, wrote in their note, and it's added to the board. You'll see that there's opportunities for branding your board and also opportunities for different frames of different types of feedback, but all basically set up the same way by having a specific color, an understanding of what the point of the activity is, maybe in the center, maybe at the top. This is just one example. So I'm going to go back to my recent jams, and here's another example and I'll show you how to do these in just a moment. Basically, just like you would in another Padlet or other whiteboard canvas type software, you can have a sample question, a different sample question, and organize it like a wall where different answers are placed below. You could have an image to prompt a response from other collaborators and add that image from your Google Photos, your Google Drive, or even your computer. And also just think about how color can be used to contrast different types of responses within a Jamboard. So let's go ahead and now create a Jamboard. So back on my collected set of recent jams, I'm going to go down here to the bottom right corner and click plus. When I click plus, I am immediately brought to a white board. The very first thing that you really should do is name the jam. I'm going to name it Sample Jam 1. Click OK. You'll also notice up here when you do create additional frames, by clicking to the right, it will create a frame. By clicking to the left, it will take me back through previous frames. And if I click down, it will actually expand the view of the frame. So I'll click and create an extra frame right here. Now I have 2 frames. I'm going to stay on the 1, but I could click to this 2, back to the 1, and down. So I actually technically now have 2 frames of this jam, but for the time being, I'm going to stay on the first one. The next thing I want you to notice is that you also can share this collaborative space to others that you want to collaborate with. Up here on the right is the same share button. If I want to add additional users, I can add them into my Jamboard and send them a message just like any other type of Google application, Google document. I can also here, once I've completed the jam, I could rename it, download it as a PDF, save each individual frame as an image, remove it, make a copy, look for updates within the software, send feedback. Now, just like other Google apps, you have an undo, a redo, a plus and minus zoom, different percentages of zoom, and here are the background options where I can change my background from the plain background to dots, lines, squares, graph, blue, or black. I'm going to change to the graph, and now I can see I have a background that's graph paper. I also can clear the frame, and what that means is anything that I now add on top of the jam, I can then clear by pressing clear the frame. So To go over the first set of tools, over here is the very top tool is the pen. So when I click on the pen, I get pulled over to the pen, marker, highlighter, and brush in different colors. I'll click on the red, I'll click on the brush, and I'll get my sample brush letter. I'll click back over, we'll do the same with the pen, and so on. That's more like a highlighter. Now I have my thicker pen, and then back to the thinner pen. So, and those of course come in different colors. Now I also have the eraser. I can go ahead and I can erase individual lines that I've made. I can erase parts, single parts, go back through. But I also can go ahead and hit clear the frame, and it takes it right away if I want to do a bulk deletion of what I've written. Now the next part is the move tool, which doesn't really become important until you have some other elements like pictures and sticky notes on the page. So I'll show you that once we get some created. You can go to the sticky note, and this is where you have the option, just like on the other jams that I've shown you, to create a sticky note, make it yellow, make it green, any of these colors, no color at all. I'll hit save. I'm going to leave that one. I'll save it right here. But let's say I need 5. I can go here and I can delete. I can duplicate each one of these, edit it if I need to, and kind of continue going down the line and do it really simple. One thing to think about is when I do duplicate, I also can double click, edit it, make it a different color if I needed to, and so on. So these could be questions, these could be topics all across the top of the board. These could be days of the week with assignments underneath them, a place to check in. Another element now, after we move after sticky notes, and now the move tool, another thing to think about now that we have these elements is that we can use the move tool. So I'm going to click back on the move tool, and I can space these out however I want to space them out on my board, move them around, put them where I'd like to keep them, and just start to design the layout of my board. I'm going to go down here to add an image. Now the cool part about adding images is images could be photographs, they could be taken from Google Image Search, your own Google Drive, photos shared with you, recent, anything in your shared drive, anything that's out there within your Google account. So I'm going to go to my drive, and actually, no images are popping up here. You can go into recent. I'll find a picture of my son playing a video game. I'll hit select, and I can bring this right into and change the size of it. So if you also notice, I can also edit, duplicate it if I wanted to. I could delete it. I could make multiple images, all in the matter of designing my page. And I could resize those if I wanted to, ask questions about them, do what I need to do. And if you notice, I also use the arrow to move them around. Now, so really think about all the capabilities of what you can do with sticky notes, as they can be resized, and people can type whatever they want. Here, people can type whatever they want. And the text will show up. They can resize it. And groups can answer and collaborate within the space. So you do really want to use it as a collaborative space in ways that kind of push people to share ideas and work together. The final tool I want to show you on here is the laser tool. So the laser tool is just a swiping tool that you can swipe through text, and about a couple of seconds later it disappears. So it's really for just drawing attention to something that you've put on the board, or you want to say, no, that's the wrong answer, and it disappears. All right, so that's available there. Now I'm going to move over to the top, and you can go to the 3 actions here, and to the right where the share button is, we have these 3 dots where you can rename, download. Let's go ahead and I'm going to show you what it looks like to download as a PDF. So when I click download as a PDF, I'm going to get the first page, but I'm also going to get the second page. So if I had added items onto this document here as a second page, like you've seen me do in the with the other jams, it will show up here with the PDF as well. So here's the first page, and you'll see the blank second page. So just keep that in mind if you're creating multiple page jams, that they're all included within the downloads. So that's a simple overview of Jamboard. Think about how you could collaborate with others, what type of content you would have them put on here. And also think about branding the Jamboard, maybe with your teacher's class name, different items, how images show up. There's definitely like a lot of different ways that you can use Jamboard in the classroom, and especially as part of the Google Suite, it has a lot of great benefits. So thank you for checking this out. I appreciate you watching the video and getting to the end here, and hopefully you get an opportunity to try out Jamboard soon.